What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the latest episode of the Layup Line. If you missed my last video, you should totally check it out after this one. I released my updated power rankings for the start of February, and I talked about 3 teams to keep track of for this month. Also, if you don't already, you can find me on most social media for inside looks at upcoming videos, as well as reactions to live games. But today, I'm going to be getting into my top 5 early picks for MVP this season. I'm going to preface it with saying the fact that this is just my opinion, and there are going to be a lot of deserving candidates, so your list might look different. Hopefully we can talk about those differences in the comment section, but I think I do a good job of backing my picks with a lot of historic factors that we usually see go into the MVP decision.
What's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It's about to be that time.
AP, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Sensations thinking they know the game of basketball, they would then have to admit that they don't know basketball.
So at number 5, I have Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell has been having his most efficient 3-point shooting season of his career at near 40% on almost 9 attempts per game. He averages 23 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds on a team with the best win percentage in the league. In only 20 games into the season, we've already seen the Jazz go on an 11-game win streak, and Mitchell's play has obviously been an important part of that. Now, Donovan has been the Jazz's best individual shot creator since his rookie season, but his off-ball movement this year has seen his percentage of assisted threes shoot up to 66%, the highest since his rookie year. The Jazz are also a plus 6.3 with Mitchell on the court and negative 3.4 when he sits. He's got a really high usage rate and it's leading to wins, so Mitchell deserves some recognition for his play with Utah right now. As good as the team is though, there are a few things holding me back from placing him higher. This is his least efficient season from the field, partially because of how many jumpers he's taking. He was getting to the rim more in his rookie and sophomore seasons, and his offensive and defensive win shares are down from previous seasons as well. The Jazz will also need to really continue the team's success to support any push for Mitchell as MVP. The Jazz have also had a favorable schedule so far, so Mitchell would need to pick up steam in big matchups against other playoff teams. But moving on, my number 4 MVP pick is Kawhi Leonard. The past 2 seasons, load management has really held Leonard back in his case for the league's most valuable player, but this year he's been available for the Clippers. He's averaging 34 minutes per game. Kawhi is also having an amazing scoring season as usual, averaging 26, 5, and 5 rebounds on near 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. His mid-range attempts are up, and it's actually one of his most efficient shooting seasons on 2s. It hasn't affected his long-range game too much either, because he's still getting up 5 threes a game. It's just nitpicking at this point, but I would like to see him get to the rim a bit more. His free throw attempts per game are down, but the guy is having the best passing season of his career as well. His 5 assists per game are a career high, and it's also coming on a career best turnover percentage. The Clippers are one of the league's best teams, and Kawhi is their best player, so he's another obvious MVP choice. And after his part in the disappointing blown 3-1 lead for the Clippers, he could have a powerful redemption narrative push his MVP campaign. He will have to deal with his teammate Paul George battling him for votes. PG is having his own MVP caliber resurgence year, putting up 24 points on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits as well, which I believe gives them a shot at being the only duo to ever join the 50, 40, 90 club in the same season. The Clippers have had much better chemistry this season for multiple reasons, but we're hearing more about Kawhi being part of that locker room, which is promising for his odds at taking home his first regular season MVP award. At number 3 on my list is Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. I know this will probably upset a lot of people that Jokic is so low on my list. I've seen him number 1 or number 2 for a lot of others, but that's because I'm probably a lot more concerned about Denver's defensive issues holding them back from being good enough from a record standpoint to support Jokic's argument. At the recording of this video, the Nuggets are currently 4th in the Western Conference with a 12-8 record, and just in February the Nuggets will face the Lakers twice, the Celtics, the Bucks, the Blazers, and the Hawks, all teams with the offensive firepower to put pressure on their defensive holes. This month will be a proving ground for Jokic and the Nuggets, so check in with me about where he ranks on the MVP list after this month, because he does have the potential to get a lot higher. That being said, he's having an amazing year. He's willing Denver to wins, putting up 27 points, 9 assists, and 12 rebounds. He's literally 1.4 assists shy of the triple-double average and being the first big man to average one. And that would certainly be a narrative boost, one that certainly helped Russell Westbrook land the award in 2017 for being the first player to average a triple-double since Oscar Robertson. But whether Jokic ultimately accomplishes the triple-double on the season, he has a strong case to get the award because of just how efficient this season has been. 57% shooting from the field, which is a career high, 38% from three, nearly 4 attempts per game there as well. He's a mismatch problem, forcing defenses to either try and guard him with single coverage to limit his all-time passing ability, or you have to double team and hope that they can provide the help and recover on whatever cutter or wing shooter that Jokic will eventually find to dump it off to. His free throw attempts are also up, and he's one of the best bigs in the league from the line, and he has a ridiculous 128 offensive rating. And as bad as his reputation is as a defender, his 108 defensive rating is at least a lot better than the 112 rating that Denver averages as a team. And that's partially because of how good Jokic is reading passing lanes and stripping the ball with his big hands when he's playing up high on ball screens. Jokic is getting a career-high 2 steals per game. Nikola Jokic does have a lot of things that we've never seen from this level at the center position, and in my opinion, he's already the best passing big man in league history, and it would make sense to see him be the first center to get the award since Shaq and Tim Duncan. Number 2 on my list will probably upset some people as well, as I have LeBron James. I think it would be fair to say the Lakers and James have somewhat been coasting and relying on their sheer talent to get them wins, but to be fair, they're also getting the wins. The Lakers are tied with the Clippers for the second best record in the league, and that's coming behind LeBron in his most efficient shooting year from distance. Anthony Davis has been in a bit of a slump to start the year, and LeBron has been a tremendous offensive carrier while still providing all defensive ability. The defensive effort can still come in spurts for James, but within a 115 offensive rating and a 105 defensive rating on the year, I think the eye test has been translating to the stats as well. He averages a very LeBron stat line of 25, 8, and 8, but I mentioned the career high 40% shooting, and that's also coming on a career high 7 attempts. The Lakers have a lot more depth and help off the bench, so the team doesn't fall apart when James sits like things have been in previous years, but they're still better when he plays, and it's leading to results. LeBron also has a narrative argument that helps him with the Lakers coming off the shortest turnaround of any team other than the Miami Heat, and we see what that's done to them. Add to the fact that the Lakers are the defending champs, and it wouldn't be strange to see voters get behind LeBron James to get the award for this year. But before I get to my number 1 pick for MVP this year, I did want to do some honorable mentions. Kevin Durant was on the list for a while. I had even wrote him into the script for this video, but then I did last minute decide to replace him with Kawhi Leonard. It's kind of difficult to justify picking Kevin Durant when there's James Harden, the former MVP, next to him, and Kyrie Irving is having a fantastic season. If you haven't seen his stats, just go check it out. His shooting efficiency is off the charts right now. The Nets will also have a pretty bad defense, so there's that. Another honorable mention is obviously last year's MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo. While the Bucks are not as good defensively and he's not as good defensively, he's still having a fantastic season, so he deserves a mention here. There's also Steph Curry. I don't know why, but a lot of people decided to write Steph Curry and the Warriors off after like the first week of the season when they didn't even have Draymond back yet, but Steph's doing an amazing carry job, but I think the wins are going to be tough to come by to really justify placing him on this list above a few of these other guys. But with all that out the way, let's get into my number 1 pick for MVP. At number 1, I have Joel Embiid, because similar to Giannis last year, Embiid is a guy that can make an argument for MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Embiid is the best player on the best team in the East, and Philly has a 15-6 record, and their losses seem to come in games Embiid does not play. MVP usually leans more towards offensively gifted players, but being the best defender on a team with the top 5 defensive rating while averaging a career high 28 points is certainly wild. I feel like I've said this a lot, but Joel Embiid is also averaging a career high 40% from 3, and he's getting to the free throw line nearly 10 times a game. As a result, he has a 67 true shooting percentage, and his level of play is coming in just 32 minutes. His scoring jumps up to absurd levels if you take a look at the per 36 and the per 100 possession stats. Joel is doing a lot of damage on his own as well, because he has career lows on his percentage of assisted field goals from 2 and from 3, which is amazing coming from a 7-footer. Some people will try to make the load management argument against Embiid, and he has missed 5 of the team's 21 games so far, but to me that doesn't matter, especially when 4 of the team's 6 losses came in games without Embiid, and I think that's evidence of just how valuable he is to the Sixers. They obviously still have Tobias Harris, who could be making his first All-Star team this year, and Ben Simmons is an All-Star and All-NBA level guy as well, but Joel Embiid is the team's MVP. The Sixers lack a ton of on-ball perimeter creators, so Embiid's post scoring and his improved jumper are a big reason Philly is even in the top half of the league in offensive rating. And Joel is just another guy at the center position that has the chance to be the first MVP since the days of Shaq and Tim Duncan. But like I said before, these are just my opinions. I'm still fully expecting disagreement in the comment section. But if you learn something new, or if you like what I do, don't forget to leave a like, as that helps me out a lot. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the bell to stay notified about new videos. I'll be dropping at least twice a week, so if you're a fan of the NBA, this is certainly the place for you. I hope we can discuss our differences in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.